Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode here on the MIgardener channel. It is obviously late fall. We're surrounded by leaves, but you know what that means. It means fall preparation is still underway. So one thing that we're doing today is we're going to be helping these trees get through the cold winter months. Now, a lot of times people make this mistake with young trees. This would still be considered a young tree, only 2 years old. I lost 2 trees last year for not doing this, and it is very important to do with young trees, and I find that the success rate when I do is a lot better off. So now what happens is these young trees here, they're growing, they're doing very well, but they don't know obviously the winter that's coming, so they cannot prepare. So what do you have to do? You have to take extra steps to ensure that your plants stay alive, because sometimes you have these freak temperatures. Like last year we had down to -18 degrees. These plants are not geared for -18 degrees Fahrenheit, especially one of the coldest winters on record. They just weren't geared for it. We lost so many, and I was very lucky to have this peach tree still stay alive because it is only zone hardy to zone 5. And temperatures of -18 is more or less what you get in like zone 3. And so we're very lucky we did not lose as many as we did. We only lost 2, like I said, but I don't want to take that risk this year, especially because they're getting along so well and we're expecting them to fruit next year. So one thing that we're going to do is we're going to protect the root system, because people oftentimes don't realize that the root system is the one that brings the energy back to the plant. If the tops get -18 degrees, don't worry, they're fine. There's no life left in these branches here. Once the leaves drop off, all the energy is down in the roots. So the thing you have to protect is the roots. You don't have to worry about the top nearly as much, maybe 5%. So don't even worry about losing sleep over it. But the root system is what we're going to protect. So what we're going to do is very simply create kind of a solar, what would I even call this? A solar root protector. Let's call it that. How to make a solar root protector. And so what you're going to need is just some black landscaping fabric. That's what I'm using, or you can even use a trash bag, would work great. The reason why you're using black is because it absorbs lots of color, or it absorbs lots of color. Well, yeah, it absorbs lots of color because it's black, and black absorbs all colors. So what we're going to do is have this because it absorbs lots of heat. It's a very good conductor of heat. And what I've done is I've just taken and cut down the center of one side. Gosh, there you go. I've cut down the center of one side, and then I've made a little circle for the trunk to go around right in the center there. Then what I've done is I've just kind of taken some stakes here and made sure that I have enough to cover the tarp here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to rake up leaves. Leaves are a free resource, and they are an excellent insulator, because what you want is lots of air gaps. Air is one of your best insulators, which is why in the wintertime this is also going to help, because it's going to add a insulative barrier of leaves. Then it's going to also have the heat absorption of the black, and it's also going to have the snow on top of it, which will add an additional insulative barrier. So if you're having weather like zone 3, you can actually protect it more probably like zone 5. So in zone 5, you might be able to protect it more like zone 7 or 6, because those added insulative barriers will help you to have warmer soil conditions, because the roots, if they freeze, you're done. So you need to have a very warm soil, otherwise you're not going to have plants. Now obviously the soil won't be warm, but it'll be warmer than the outside temperature, which is all we're concerned about. So come on in close and let's get this tree prepped for winter. So I'm just raking up some leaves here, and we're basically just going to pile the leaves right around the base of this plant. Just kind of pile them right around the radius or the circumference of this tree. And you want to make sure that the leaves, or you want to make sure that the insulative material that you're choosing, whether or not it's pine needles, hay, straw, mulched up leaves, whole leaves, whatever you're going to be using for your insulative material. You can even use newspapers. That works out great. But you want to make sure that the insulative barrier comes out to the furthest leaf, because the roots will typically be out as far as the canopy goes. So so if I draw a line from the furthest out branch straight down, we're going to want to make sure that we have leaves at least that far out, because that's where the roots are, and we're protecting the roots, not the trunk. So that's what we're going to be doing. So let's pile these up here, and we're ready to go. Now what we're going to do is just take our tarp. We're going to place our tarp over top of the leaves here and just bring it around the trunk, kind of make a little dress, and just kind of pack it in and around. There we go. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my stakes and I'm going to stake it down. All right, and the very last step we're going to do is, obviously you have a seam here. So one thing that we're going to do is we have pinned down this side, so this side's not coming up. We're going to take this edge, fold it over this flap right here, pull it nice and tight, and then secure it through both this side and this side with a stake. And that's going to ensure that it's going to stay down nice and tight for you through the winter, and you're not going to lose any leaves. So there you go. Hopefully you enjoyed, and tell me what you guys think. I love this idea. It is just so simple. It's pretty much free except for the tarp, but you could also go with something more cost effective, such as a trash bag. I just like the durability of this because it makes sure that I can use it year after year, because sometimes a trash bag can rip up and stuff, and I don't know. I really like this with the tarp, or with the landscaping fabric. It's just so effective. And so yeah, I'd definitely be interested to see what you have to do for your orchard. Make sure you post your pictures on MIgardener Facebook page. I would love to see what you're doing to prepare your orchard for the winter. And if you decide to try this idea, definitely share it with us, because we love to see what you're taking home from these episodes, and it really charges us up for the future episodes. So make sure to do that, and I will catch you all later. This is Luke from the MIgardener channel, hoping you're growing big or going home. Hopefully you're staying warm, because it is pretty cold here, and I'll catch you all later. See ya. Bye.